wrong. Look, not sharing. Oh, we live. Okay, we are. Well, then we're live. Then if we're live. All right, I said yesterday there was a big opportunity in Trump coin, and I said that the opportunity wasn't in Trump coin. Little did I know that the opportunity wasn't going to be in actual Trump coin. Trump coin has now sucked out 70 or now $63 billion worth of liquidity out of the market. And as I said yesterday, I think the opportunity to get into Trump coin was one thing. But the bigger opportunity was to realize that the market had been drained of $70 billion of liquidity. And once this Trump bubble gets smaller, so to speak, figuratively speaking, then all that liquidity would flow back into tokens. And the sector which got the hardest hit was actually the sector of AI agents. And so what I said was, you should have used yesterday to buy into the AI agents. Now, I know a lot of you didn't. I know for sure that a lot of you didn't. But I'll tell you one thing. Even if you didn't, you still got about 24 hours to buy your favorite AI agent and AI agent plays before the liquidity actually starts to flow back into it. It's already started. You can see it already. If you look at the bubbles here, you can see that if you look at the bubbles, just have a look here. The liquidity is flowing into the other bubbles. I see my screen's frozen. Let me see if we can get a better screen share. Okay, let's try and reshare the screen for you guys. All right, we're going to try and reshare the screen for you guys. Hold on a sec. Before we get the show started, let's try and reshare the screen. For some reason, it's not working. Okay, there we go. So the screen's now working. You can see the liquidity has gone back into the AI coins. And so I think you got about 24, maybe 48 hours left to get into the AI agent tokens. Today, we're going to discuss exactly which tokens you should be getting into, why you should be getting into those tokens and not the other tokens. Going to be a big Sunday show. Remember, if you're watching these Sunday shows, you are a degen. It means that you can make your own decisions. It means that you know you need to do your own research. And it means that you're going to shower after the show because we're going to give you so much dirty alpha that you're going to need to shower. These AI agents playing with the technology. Yeah, that's the problem. It's the AI agents playing with the technology. Welcome back, guys. What a big day. I mean, you have to be an OG to truly appreciate what's happening on the markets here. In fact, I tweeted something like that to say like, you know, for those of us who have been here for a long time, and we watch what's happening in the markets, and we see that there is a coin that is launched by an incoming president that is now at a market cap of $70 billion. You can't fathom how unbelievable that actually is. I'll tell you, you really can't. I remember in the early days, 2015, 2016, 2017, I remember sitting here and every word that a president uttered, was usually against Bitcoin, but we used to price Bitcoin relative to the small utterances that the presidents or the cabinet or the ministers actually used to speak about. And today we have a president-elect or an incoming president coming into the market with a $70 billion meme coin. I mean, you couldn't script this thing better. You simply couldn't script this story any better. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, for those of you who have been here for a long time, yeah, I'm sure that you guys probably share the same sentiment. For those of you who don't, just trust us that this is a monumental event. And it's also like a monumental opportunity, right? And the reason why I say it's a monumental opportunity is because of the screen over here. You can see that there's one token that has sucked out $70 billion of liquidity out of the market, right? And if there is one token that sucked out $70 billion worth of liquidity out of the market, you know that at some point, the markets are going to open, right? Right now, the US markets are closed. In fact, tomorrow, the US markets are still closed because of the inauguration. But after that, the markets open, the liquidity is going to start coming back. And then people are going to start to say, wow, hold on. Have you seen the fact that Solana is now trading at $300 or just under $300, $270? It actually went up to $295. This is what the market sentiment is going to say. And so I think you have about 24 hours left to make your move. I think, like we spoke about yesterday, the original moves went out of AI agents. And so it's only logical that the capital is going to rotate back into AI agents. I posted this in the Frontrunners group. It was a while back. It was like about 24 hours ago. And I said, morning, everyone. The Trump coin has sucked the liquidity out of the market, especially the AI coins. To make it worse, it was launched on late Friday night when liquidity wasn't trading. I'm not buying Trump, even though there may be some upside. I'm using the opportunity to buy AI agents as I'm confident the liquidity comes back. Now, you'll notice that this call was made when Griffin was at 43 cents. If you look at Griffin now, let's quickly look together, 55 cents. So already we up quite a bit. I also said I'm buying Colon. Colon was another one. It was a $25 million market cap. And you can see Colon at $35 million. So you need to learn how to time these markets. You need to make sure that you're not where the bees are, right? Like I always say, like, you can't be where the bees are because the bees are in the flower and they're sucking out all the pollen, all the profits, right? You need to think about where the bees are not and where they're going to go next. And that is where you go, because then the bees will fly there, they'll bzzz all the way there, and they'll start sucking the profits out of it. And what you could see was that the bees went to the Trump coin and they left the AI coins to do that. So what do? We go into the AI coins knowing that they're actually going to come back. And those that actually did it, those that are in front runners, those that actually joined the show yesterday and watched the show yesterday, I'm sure you guys made a lot of money from all these calls that we made here on the show yesterday. Yesterday I said on the show, buy AI16Z. I said buy AIXBT. You can see that those are the tokens which are actually running at the moment. And I don't think that this rotation's finished. I think we still have about 24 hours before this rotation goes full tilt. And that's why I think that it's super, super, super important that we talk about the AI agent landscape here, right now, today, and make sure that you guys are well equipped. So that's what the show is about. If that sounds good to you on a Sunday, what I need to do is obliterate the like button. Obliterate. I see there's only 366 likes with 3,000 people. That's like the worst ratio I've ever seen. Terrible, terrible ratio. So obliterate the like button. Let's actually bring all our friends in. Let's bring all our friends in and start bringing the alpha. One unbelievable thing about this Trump coin is, just think about it from Trump's point of view. Like his whole wealth that he's made his entire life is like, let's say between 3 and 6 billion. I thought it was closer to 3, but Tom says it's 6 billion. He's now got like $50 billion worth of equity in this coin. Are you telling me that this guy's not going to go full tilt into crypto? I mean, he's human, just like all of us, right? He's going to realize that there's so much money in crypto for him, for the US, for people inside the US. He's going to go full tilt behind crypto. And that's why we have to be so excited about what's actually going on here. All right, let's talk about AI agents, because I said that's what we're going to be talking about. I mean, where the opportunity came from was here. You could see that the mindshare went back to meme coins. I remember the AI agents had like 60% mindshare. In fact, let's actually go to the 7-day and you can actually see, you'll probably be able to see the shift in the 7-day if this internet ever works. So it's one of the things about living in Africa. We have very slow internet. So, okay, I don't know if you can see it, but you will be able to see it like pretty soon when this screen updates. Okay, there it is. So you can see that the AI agent narrative in the last 7 days was 42%, and now it's 34%. Why? Because all the share of mine went into meme coins. But it's going to come back. Remember, the bees always come back, and the bees are going to come back, and they're going to come back to the AI agent narrative, that's for sure. And so you can already see the number of holders in the AI agent tokens is actually growing. And if you look at the bubbles, it's the big ones that are starting to run. Now, you know how this works. First, the big ones run. Then the medium ones run, then the small ones run. It's all about confidence in the market. And you can see the big ones running, Graphane's running, ARK's running because I think they've got this partnership program. I think they called it a handshake program. That's what they called it, a handshake program. I think that's why it's running. AIXBT, I'm quite excited about why AIXBT is running. The reason why I'm so excited about it is it looks like they're making their terminal cheaper. You know, so AIXBT is this, very simply put, people call him a crypto influencer, but it's not that. It's definitely not a crypto influencer. What it is, it's a terminal, and that terminal shares alpha. Now, up until now, that terminal's been too expensive for people to actually play with, right? And so what they're doing now is they're doing tier-based tiers, which means that a lot of people will actually be able to use this terminal. Let's see if I can actually. There we go. So you can. Sorry, today everything's freezing here. I'll reset it. I'll reset it in a second for you guys to see. So I think that's why that's running. But look, I know you guys didn't come here to speak about the majors. I know that that's not your gig, and so I bought friends because when I called reinforcements friends. I've got Dr. Wadge who's joining us. Wadge, do you prefer being called Doc Wadge? What's
any of the above. Any of the above.
Yeah. And then I've got a very special guest for you. It's 563, right?
That's right.
And in the bull market, it's 564.
Yeah, there you go.
And then it's 565 after that.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah. All right. So I've got two guests. You guys are two of my favorite people when it comes to AI agents. I think you guys actually do the real work. And that's why I thought I'd bring you on here and we can have a discussion around these agents, have a discussion around what you guys are looking at. I know you guys are deep in the alpha, and I want to pick your brains to get into the alpha of what's going on here during the week. First of all, do you agree with my thesis that this is a temporary suck out of liquidity and that the liquidity is coming back to the AI agents afterwards?
Yeah, I'll go first. Maybe 563, you have some points to add on after me. But I think one thing that I noticed was that with the Trump coin, especially on apps like Moonshot, where a lot of these retail are buying, we saw like 200,000-300,000 new on-chain users coming to Solana. And I think in my head, I'm thinking, right, those guys, are going to be trading Trump. But what once they get that dopamine of getting, a few gains, a few percentage here, what do they do next? They're going to look for the next coins. And, I think naturally, when people search, they're going to be searching for the top 10 coins of the month, or which coins are good at the moment, and they're going to look at the charts, they're going to go on CoinMarketCap, or they're going to look at those bubble maps that you were just showing, and they're going to see those AI agent coins bouncing back strongly. And so I think naturally we're going to see the capital return back to the AI agent coins.
I think you hit a very, very good point there to say that these people actually onboarded onto Solana. So I think there were like 500,000 new Solana wallets or something, or like 300,000 new Solana wallets that were set up because of Trump coin. And I think that there's a very good point there, because up until now, it's been a two-horse race between Base and Solana for these AI agents. I think Solana may get a little bit of a lead just because you've now got all these guys. And a lot of them are in profits. And when people make profits, they want to rotate their profits. And so they may realize that the best place to rotate their profits is actually to rotate their profits into AI agents, because AI agents are the new fun. They're the new casino, so to speak. Although we'll probably argue here today that there's some kind of fundamentals here, right?
Yeah, that was the point I was actually going to make. Once we see a lot of people come on chain, they made some money, there's some wealth effect. They're like, cool, we made this money on this meme coin. What can I buy that actually has some fundamentals behind it? And I think they already have money on Solana. It makes a lot of sense to stay on Solana, or to stay on, like you said, on Moonshot or something like that. And yeah, I think agents are the perfect place.
Yeah, I think the bridging problem for a newbie is quite a problem, right? Like the bridging problem is quite a problem for a newbie. All right, so I know you guys are deep in the trenches, and I know that you guys are two guys that actually do the research. For those of you who don't watch 𝗲𝗔's channel, there is a link below to his channel. Just go and I promised him that if he joined our show today, I promised him he would get 5,000 subscribers. So the problem is if we don't get him to 5,000 subscribers, then he won't come next week, and that could be a big problem for us, because when you hear the amount of alpha that this guy's going to bring you today, it's going to be off the charts. It's going to be off the charts. So what you need to do are the links below, the guest channels. Okay, can we put the guest channels below very urgently? Let's put the guest channels below, and then we'll all go back and we'll go and subscribe. Hardest if we could get that in there. All right, in the interim, guys, I want to know what you guys are looking at. So I know this sector is quite big, and I think we all know the big guys. We all know the AI XBTs. We all know the ARCs. We all know the AI 16Zs. I want to get into the smaller guys, just because I think that's where there's, I think like AI 16Z is great at $1 billion, but it's not going to go to 100 billion, that's for sure. So I want to get into the alpha wedge. Maybe you can start off with some of the agents that you've been looking at.
Yeah, I think if there's one sector, so with AI agents, one thing to note is that there's multiple subsectors. Just like with DeFi, right? You've got DEXs, you've got lending markets, you've got bridges, you've got derivatives, right? The same thing is with agents as well. AI agents can be separated into many different subcategories as well. So you've got like, the entertainment agents, the infrastructure agents, the tooling agents, the educating agents, and I think there's one agents, the infrastructure. There's one specific sector of these agents that interests me, which is the DeFi agents. And that's probably because I'm building a DeFi protocol as well. But I think the DeFi agents really can change the way that we use DeFi today. And I think DeFi has a lot of complexities. Most people, I think, don't really use DeFi the way that I like to use DeFi. But that can all be abstracted away through agents. And so I think this is one sector that I'm particularly looking at. There's one token that I recently purchased and recently have been really enjoying. And I think the attention hasn't flown back to it. It's called 𝗪𝗔𝗵𝗵𝗹. And it's interesting because 𝗪𝗔𝗵𝗵 originally started off as an entertainment agent. And one thing I love about these agents is that they evolve every single week. There's new upgrades and they can completely change. Just like how AI16Z started off as an investment agent or an investment DAO and then became this infrastructure, this almost like layer one. The same thing happens with other agents as well. And this is why it's really important to follow agents that have really, really good devs, because the devs can change everything in a week. One thing I've noticed with 𝗪𝗔𝗵𝗵 is that they are now going deep into the DeFi space, and their founder released a tutorial kind of going over some of the DeFi functionality that these agents can do, performing on-chain actions, staking, bridging, all kinds of automations that you can run through these agents. And I think that is really, really interesting to me.
So is it this one over here, 𝗪𝗔𝗵𝗵 on Solana? So it's a market cap of about $40 million, right?
Yeah, and this was at 250 something at one point. And I think, one thing that I like to see is that the agent keeps getting better, or the development keeps getting better. As long as I see that, I think the attention, comes back, and that's kind of my thesis at the moment on this one.
Okay. So in terms of DeFi, I agree with you very, very, very much on the DeFi thesis. And the reason why I agree with you very much on the DeFi thesis is because I think DeFi has a usability problem. It has a user interface problem. Doing DeFi is fucking hard. Okay, like bridge your money to here, stake your money in this protocol, then unstake your money, and then there's a bonding period and not a bonding period. I mean, for the normie, that's not going to ever work. But going to an AI agent and saying, please just stake my USDC, do the following XYZ, and get me the returns, I think that becomes quite easy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the whole point, right? We're abstracting away the complexities and letting agents do the hard work. So
before we get into, so I know you spoke about 𝗪𝗔𝗵𝗵, but what about Daniel Sester's project, the 𝗓𝗏? So I mean, is that one of the winners for you in DeFi, DeFi?
I think the sector's too early. So I think when the sector's early, that's when you can kind of see this mismatch in comps. I think something like Sester's coin has done fantastic. Part of the reason is attached to his name and his brand, and he ran up multiple billion-dollar projects last cycle, and so naturally there's going to be it's anything that he does is gonna do well or gonna get attention. But I think with due time, don't get me wrong, I think what he's doing seems really, really interesting too. But there's a 5x multiple difference in these two different assets. And I think one is really focusing on development, and I think that one has a little bit more going for it at the moment. But I think in general, we see the entire sector, continue to rise. I think the total DeFi AI market cap is less than $500 million, which is nothing, actually, absolutely nothing.
563, what do you think, sir?
Yeah, just to add on to what Wadjo says, because I was going to bring up 𝗪𝗔𝗵𝗵 too. They're also doing a launch pad as well. And if you just look at the comps across the board, there aren't many projects that are as legit as 𝗪𝗔𝗵 that are that low market cap. So I'm excited about 𝗪𝗔𝗵 too, but 𝗓𝗏 is an interesting one too, just because of the mind share that Danny can bring to a project. So I think you do have a point there.
What else? What other ones do we like in this DeFi? DeFi. I mean, I hate using the word DeFi because it's a DeFi. DeFi.
I call it AI-fi.
Yeah, I also think, to be honest, that in 5 years, there's no reason why humans should use any of these interfaces. I've got to be honest. It's all AI should do everything for us. Hey Alexa, play music. That's what you say, right? Hey Alexa, play the song. You don't go to the computer, open up the music. You don't do that anymore. Hey, stake 10,000 USDC. Hey, withdraw the 10,000 USDC and buy a shitcoin. That's basically how we're going to interact with these rails that we've built for so long.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, like you said, we use AI, we use agents every day already, whether it's Siri or Alexa. And I think even the likes of, Tesla, who are kind of having self-driving cars, right? This is an AI agent that's driving your car for you. So I agree. I think the same thing comes to finance, which is why I think DeFi or AI-fi is such an interesting thing, because it's so early. There's less than 10 big players in this space right now. And so I think you'll see a lot of development coming. A lot of the teams I'm speaking to right now, especially the DeFi teams, are all looking to build AI agents right now. And so over the next month, we will see tons and tons and tons of new ones coming to the market.
All right, so you're both bullish on Bully. What else are you guys looking at? Let's keep moving. Let's keep the momentum.
Have you seen 𝗪𝗍?
𝗪𝗍, give me the ticker.
𝗪𝗍.
Yes, I saw 𝗪𝗍. Hold on, actually, here we go. I saw it earlier today. It's in one of my. Here we go. This one, 𝗪𝗍. 𝗪𝗍 saw it first.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me a little bit about 𝗪𝗍.
Yeah, it's being built on Griffin actually. So it's an app that's being built over on there. So that's pretty cool.
What does it do?
Basically, it's just it's basically an alpha. It searches for alpha and tweets it out. And I think there's a terminal that you can use eventually too. But it's already seeing a lot of traction.
So it must be this one. Is it 𝗪𝗍 USD? This thing over here. This must be the terminal, right?
It looks like that's just the pump fun.
Hold on, here we go. So website, it is 𝗪𝗍. It's got 112 million fully diluted. Let's just click on the website.
Yeah, the terminal might not be out yet.
Maybe the terminal's not out yet. Okay, hold on a second. Let's just have a look here. I thought they ripped off Pump Fund's front page. As a thing. Here we go. So your AI Copilot powered by Asset Dash, Watch Alert, and Griffin.com. Okay. So this is okay. I understand. Okay. I mean, speaking of these terminals, what did you think of the AI-XBT news that they were going to create this multi-tier system? Because right now it's too expensive for anyone to actually access the terminal, but it looks like it's becoming much, much, much cheaper.
Yeah, I thought this was part of the original plan anyway. So I thought this was already public news. I wasn't aware that this wasn't public news. I think, AI-XBT, in its current form, is actually kind of basic, and it just goes to show like how much more this can do. Imagine when this agent starts to put out media-based content as well.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when it starts making videos? What happens when it starts making graphics? What happens when it starts making financial statements on different protocols? This could be like the next Bloomberg essentially. So I think that's kind of where the speculation idea comes from, and yeah, that was the first thing that I noticed when I saw AI-XBT at 15 million. I thought it's going to take my job, so I had to buy that.
Yeah, I'm petrified of. I must say, I'm petrified of these AIs taking my job. Honestly, I'm petrified. Everyone thinks, oh, you're being so alarmist. I've seen how good their voices are. I've seen how good looking they are, and now their content. Every second tweet that I refer to seems to be a tweet from an automated agent. And that's scary because that's where I get my news from. I get my news from Twitter. And if I'm getting my tweets from automated agents, then there's something's wrong here. You know what I mean? And this is day 3 of the race. Just think about how much more there is to go in the race. And that's the part that's worrying me.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time. The thing is, right, with AI, the speed of innovation is what I think helps drive the speculation so much more. Week after week, we're seeing more and more projects coming out with something completely new, and I think that just helps with speculating on this entire sector.
Amazing. Okay, so I love 𝗪𝗍. Let's carry on. Let's go. Let's move lower down the risk curve. How about we move lower down the risk curve?
Lower down or higher risk?
Higher risk, higher up or lower down.
I've got another one that I like at the moment. It's called Thales, THALES. It's by a team, redacted research team, who are actually good friends of mine, and they essentially are creating this DeFi agent that also is able to perform on-chain actions. It's built on the ELYSA framework, and they've got a variety of plugins already. Like it's got its own TE wallet. It's got connections so that it can do cross-chain transactions by itself. It's got a whole range of different things that it can do. It's got 2 main functions. One of them is to be the DeFi AI-XBT, and you'll have a terminal eventually that you'll be able to interact with. And one of them is the on-chain component, where this agent is able to do transactions on-chain.
Yes.
They're actually, one of the things that I love about it the most is the team's ability to do BD. And I saw today that they're actually collaborating with Danny Sester's project. And so Thales will be integrated in some way, shape or form there. They're working with some of the top AI teams as well. 𝗫🔂, who do blind computation, really surprised me, that announcement. So I think for me, this is a bet on their BD team, but also hopefully what comes out with kind of what this agent does DeFi wise as well.
what did I read about this? I read that it was it a CTO or something like that? Or
so Shaw from 𝗂𝗖𝗪 actually made this token.
Yes.
So there's quite some interesting lore behind it. So this is actually one of his first tokens that he created. But I think it didn't go well, or he just kind of left it. And so the redacted research team CTO'd it. So they bought up, I believe, 20% of the supply, and then decided to just take over and kind of give it its own identity and brand and everything like that. So I think there's some really interesting story behind it. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I must say I bought this because I listened to something on your show, on your channel, and when I listened on your channel, I immediately went and bought the token. I mean, guys, true story. This is where I get a lot of my alpha from. So went and bought the token. I want to see if they've already put your channel here. They should have put all the. Okay, they're going to put all the channels here now, and then we're going to get the guys. We're going to get. We promised you 5,000 new subscribers, right? We're going to get it. I promise you. All right, let's move on.
Sounds good. As long as 563 gets his 5,000 too, because honestly, this guy is one of the best researchers in the space.
Let's go, sir. So bring us some research.
So there's this one that was released by one of the devs from 𝗂𝗖𝗪 called 𝗪𝗷, or I think the token is called Agency. It's the 𝗪𝗷 Detective Agency, and basically it's a very, very good scanner for CAs. So if someone's in the trenches and they're used to scanning CAs and getting some feedback, it's a nice, if you look up Agency.
So is it called which 𝗪𝗷 is it?
It's Agency is the ticker.
Agency. Okay, well, then let me get us Agency. Agency. So it's that one? 𝗪𝗷 Detective Agency. That's the one.
Yeah, that one. So it got a bunch of mindshare once 𝗂𝗖𝗪 was like going vertical, but it's been chilling out ever since. It's just a really nice tool if people are in the trenches and wanting to scan new projects. You can just input any kind of contract address and it'll spit out like, oh, I like it because of this, I don't like it because of that. And it's a very nice instant feedback loop.
So if I look at it, the market cap's $4.5 million. It's been as high as $22 million. That's I like buying $4.5 million projects. Do you know
definitely
anything?
Higher risk, but it's a cool project.
Do you know anything about the devs here? Do you back the team here, or like what is it? Like, why there's so many agents? Why have you chosen this specific one?
Yeah, this dev specifically has been very involved in the 𝗂𝗖𝗪 Discord and the partners chat for the most part, and very much respected amongst the dev world in that scenario. So I do like to see that. I don't like people coming in and not having any kind of rep, any kind of any kind of backing from everybody else. So it's a very small world right out there with AI devs. So it's cool to see folks supporting them.
All right, $4.5 million, guys. You heard it here first. Wadge, I'm coming back to you, sir. What else are you looking at, sir?
Let's have a look.
I'll give you one while we're waiting. So I came across this one. It's not as cheap as the one that you bought. It's called build.fun. The reason why I did it is because I've been messing around with these these AI agent launch platforms that you can actually do with text prompts only, right? So I'm looking for the stuff that you can do with text prompts only. So I launched an agent on 𝗪𝗓𝗏, which was an amazing experience, and therefore I landed up buying one. And then I've been messing around with this platform, and this platform actually is pretty easy. Like, it's pretty easy. I've been reading the documentation. I'm not finished with my analysis, but it is one that pretty much excites me. It excites me quite a bit, I must be honest. I like launch platforms that are easy to use, because I always say, like, my mom should be able to launch an agent when she needs something done. And I think that these guys actually, these guys are actually pretty good from what I've done. So I took a position here at about the same market cap, $25 million market cap. That's one that I've been looking at. So, Wadge, now back to you, sir.
Yeah, so so if there's one other sector of agents that I think is kind of interesting, it's the gaming sector, and I think part of the reason is because you can have these agents that essentially let you have replayable games, right? You play these single player games, you play it again the second time, the agent does something completely different, and you have a completely different outcome of the game as well. And I did find that one of a very, very popular game from a few years ago, Pokemon Go, right? Everyone knows about it, right? One of the AI engineers from that decided, you know what, let's dive into the AI agent crypto space, and he's built something. So it's called Digimon. I don't know if anyone's seen this one. It has run up drastically, and I'm sure there will be opportunities to scale into this over time. But this one's really interesting. An ex-Pokemon Go
I'm getting engineer. Digimon.
Yeah, Digimon. Now, yeah, I think this one looks pretty interesting. If you go on their Twitter page as well, they do have some images about kind of how this game looks. But I think the idea of having a Pokemon-style game where these agents are the actual characters in these games that do different things could be interesting, could be something that takes off. Of course, we're trading the idea of this game going well, so just bear that in mind. But I think, a lot of the devs themselves seem pretty stacked, and their docs as well, ex-Pokemon engineer, ex-Pokemon Go engineer. Have a look at some of their live streams where they show off the gameplay as well. But I think this one looked pretty interesting.
Okay, so is it this one over here that has a market cap of 26 million?
6 million, yes, that's right.
Okay, that's the one. Sorry, my internet, it's not my internet sunning here and my computer's slowing things down. So 26 million market cap, no link to a website. That's strange. Okay, I mean, we just have to...
Might be able to find it on Twitter itself.
So let's go to Twitter and let's go to Digimon. And that must be Digimon. It's this one, Digimon.tech, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so let's quickly just have a look at this token. Let's quickly just analyze this token. Okay, so we have 3,300 holders, not bad. Token's been listed since November and had a massive spike in January when they all had a spike, and now seems to be on the up. Yeah, that's yeah, pretty healthy looking chart also. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Let's see if it. Yeah, let's see if it goes down to 15 million or something like that. There are some big wallets, so just be aware of that. But I think from an agent perspective, this looks really, really interesting. They're a framework, so other people can actually build on top of the Digimon framework. They're a game, and I think I think for me as well, when you've got docs there, high caliber background, that's always a great sign.
Agree. All right, 563. We need okay, yeah, trading with David Tech is watching our show. The guy's an absolute legend. He says loving the AI agent so much. He actually wrote an agent. His agent codes whilst speaking to you. I'm gonna blow your mind now. And he told me not to show it to anyone. David, I hope your agent's working, because I'm showing it to everyone, all my friends right now. He's gonna kill me, but doesn't matter. I mean, there we go. You're going to love this agent. This is an agent coded by David, who's actually watching the show. Okay, so what is she doing? She's coding strategies and backtesting strategies while she's coding them. And then you can actually speak to her in the chat, and she actually responds to you live. David, maybe you want to activate the agent so we can see her coding. There we go. She's actually coding and backtesting strategies. You can't buy a token for this agent yet. And then let me see if I can actually speak to you. It'll blow your mind if I can. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can. What do I need to do to chat to her? Hold on. Hold on. So anyway, I'm not going to do it now, but what you can do is you can actually chat to this agent. And she speaks to you while she's coding. You can ask her questions about why you're coding this, why are you doing that, and she's backtesting. She's literally coding and backtesting strategies now, trading strategies, and she tells you which ones work, which one doesn't work, etc., etc. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Okay. Very, very cool. But there's no token for that one. There's no token for that one. All right, 563, sir. Over to you, sir. We want some dirty degen alpha.
Yeah, this one's pretty exciting. I mean, this one's been around for a little while, Hollow World. These guys are building a framework. 𝗂𝗑 is the main token right now, but that's just one of the, one of the influencers that is on Hollow World. They're coming out with their Hollow token soon. I talked with the the lead for that, and they're cooking up some interesting tokenomics for the Hollow World token itself.
That's interesting because I actually thought that 𝗕𝗤𝗚 was going to
tokenomics for the Hollow World token itself.
That's interesting because I actually thought we're getting a sound here. It's interesting because I actually thought that 𝗕𝗤𝗚 was going to be just like AI16Z is the ELIZA token 2 at the moment. I actually thought that Hollow wasn't going to release a token, but you're saying they will, right?
Yep, they are. And I believe 𝗕𝗤𝗚 holders will be able to get the Hollow token. So I think that's why it's been trading so well, because people are speculating on the Hollow token itself. So for folks that don't know, you can create 2D or 3D avatars on Hollow World and like release those individual agents. You can plug into socials, you can plug into X or live streams. And they're very popular. Like those types of streams are very, very popular on YouTube. And you can start getting to really interesting token feedback loops when you start playing around with tokens too. So I'm excited to see what they build over on Hollow World. I think that one's one to watch.
All right. Okay, cool. That's amazing. Before we carry on, before we bring more alpha, I have amazing big news for you guys. Massive big news for you guys, right? The news is that the guest links are finally in the description, which means that what you guys need to do right now is you need to go right now. We promised Wadge, 560, I didn't promise you subscribers, but I promised Wadge.
The yields that I'm about to show you.
Hold on, let's just see. You got 14,800 subscribers. So we're going to sit here while you guys obliterate his subscriber count. Okay?
Go subscribe, guys.
Go. Let's go. I want to see. We want to see 14,800. Let's just see. We're going to refresh. We need people to subscribe to. Okay? What is this, guys? This is for ants or what? Go and subscribe. Subscribe to Wadge. Subscribe to 563's channels. The details are all below. Go. The guys are here on a Sunday bringing us alpha. 14.9. Now we're talking. Let's go. One more. Come on. Okay, we promised him 5,000. Don't let me down, guys. Don't let me down. Otherwise, he won't come again. He won't come here again. He won't come to the show again. All right, let's carry on. Let's carry on with Dirty DJ and Alpha. What else are we looking at, guys?
Okay, so a few others, right? Now this one ripped quite substantially, but I think this is interesting, and I wonder if we'll see agents very similar to this pop up, and if they do, those are the ones that you should kind of look at as well. So there's something called YNE, yes, no error.
We spoke about it last week. Holy shit, what a project! Holy shit, what a project!
Okay. Fine. If we've covered this last week, let's
move on. YNE we covered last week, and YNE, if I'll remind you guys, is that agent that looks for methodology errors and mathematical errors in scientific papers. I think the market cap when we looked at it was about $60 or $70 million, right?
Probably something like that. I think it did actually top out at 100.
YNE. Yeah, I love this because this is what AI is meant to be used for. Yeah. So YNE is trading at $51 million currently. It's trading at a $51 million market cap. Sorry, my charts, for some reason today, something's wrong with my computer. My charts are very slow to load. $51 million. This may be the dip actually to get into YNE because I really believe in this thing. Which other one? You said there was another one in similar.
No, so there isn't anything similar as such, but I think we probably will see more kind of research based or these kind of agents that do really quirky things like this. We'll move back to the entertainment sector because
just before that, what do you think of agents that help people code? Because I think I listened to that Mark Zuckerberg interview with Joe Rogan, and he said very soon we're going to have mid-level engineers that help people code. I'm in this project called MicroGPT. MicroGPT is an assistant. It's an assistant coder for software devs. It basically, it's an AI agent assistant that helps you code. I know how much time we spend internally on internal code reviews and stuff like that. I think that AI can do that so easily, bro. I think it's so easy.
Just imagine when we have agents that code in Rust and then can make their own Solana smart contracts. Then it's going to be pretty crazy. I think right now a lot of these agent co-pilots maybe do stuff in Python or C++ or whatever kind of language like that. But I'm waiting for them to do Solidity and Rust, and I think that's when things get really, really exciting. Agents will make their own protocols from scratch.
All right, 563, sir, we're coming back to you.
Yeah, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the AI Solana hackathon, but There's a lot of cool projects that dropped out of there. One that I found pretty interesting was ASYM, ASYM. This one is basically a framework that they can build different trading bots on top of. And depending on how well these bots trade, they'll go back and buy back their token and burn it that way. So really cool idea. They launched their first one, I think a little while back, but really cool to see the tokenomics play into it too.
Is it this project Is it this project trading at a 5 million fully diluted, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's pretty small.
I like you.
Obviously, these are.
I like you because you come with like the hidden gems. Like it's a second hidden gem you found for us today. I like that. I like that about you. Yeah.
We like get into the weeds over a blockmate, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So this is it says intelligent capital allocation. Is that the one?
That's the one.
Okay. Amazing. So just remind me again, what does it do?
So basically it allows, so for the first one, actually, it's looking at, it basically just scans a bunch of pump fund tickers and it tries to generate like, oh, this one might be a good one to buy. This one might be not a good one to buy. And when it's up and running, it'll actually go and buy it. And when it makes profit, it'll go back and buy back ASYM with the profit. So you can build many different types of bots on top of the framework. And all of those bots, when they're successful, will go and buy back ASYM. Or if they're not successful, they'll just die out. But that's the whole idea, is you can basically just submit your ideas for different bots to trade on top of it with different strategies. And it's just like this little competition that they're all having.
All right, guys, in the interest of time, one more each. We have to do this again next week because today my internet's slow and we started slow. But doesn't matter. We'll do it again. We'll do it again. For now, one more agent each. Let's go. Waj, your favorite one. Give us like your favorite one.
Oh, I shared my favorite ones already with Bully and Talis and some of those other ones as well. But I'll share one that I'm patiently watching right now, and it's pulled back drastically, which is what I like. Right, we like to buy dips, don't we? So this is in the like kind of creative type of agents. This one's called Beats. 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 And this is interesting because for a number of reasons. Firstly, this is an agent that can create any type of music for you permissionlessly. And you can use this right now. I've actually tried to like make some music with it. This is not the right one.
Not the right one. I was about to say 1.7 million. That's a bit dirty for us. But hold on, let's make sure we get the right one. BEATS.
It is. Yeah, second one there. There you go.
Second one, $9 million. $9 million fully diluted. Yeah.
So this is interesting for a number of reasons. Firstly, it's on Hyperliquid, and we all know that the Hyperliquid EVM is coming out next month. And so when the EVM comes out, people are going to be like, oh, I wonder what agents are on, this new chain. Of course, Hyperliquid's trading at 20 billion. And people are going to want to look at some of these agents. So if you click on create on the top, you can create your own music. It's really, really good. You can create, a new theme song for the channel.
It's Chinese, bro. Okay, but I get it.
You can add your own lyrics. You can do whatever you want, essentially. So it's a very creative type of agent. I think they will end up having some sort of IP where, the agent can monetize from some of the music that comes out. So for me, this is interesting because firstly, the product works amazing. The terminal works great. Secondly, it's on Hyperliquid. And I think Hyperliquid will be interesting when the chain goes live next month.
All right, 563, over to you, sir. I do agree with you on that, by the way.
Yeah, this one's kind of like agent adjacent, I guess. I don't know if you heard about, I'm sure you did, was the Dexcelerate DAO, AICC.
Yes, of course I heard about that. I heard about that. The bankless guys and
they had a very ugly launch, to say the least.
Yes.
But I think because of that, people are kind of sleeping on it right now because the idea behind it is very smart. So basically, it's this idea that you bring together the brightest minds in the industry, and you said not calling the bankless guys the brightest mind in the industry. I'm saying the people that are building the actual frameworks. You bring them all into one DAO, and you say, okay, if you want to launch something, we can help you launch those things. And then if you hold enough of this token, you can also invest in these new agents that come online. You can have access to all these terminals that come through this accelerator too. So I want to highlight that one because I think it's really cool.
What is the ticker?
The ticker is AICC. You're not going to find the best liquidity.
So you're going back to this project?
Yes, I think if people have slept on it enough, and that there are enough smart people working on it, that it's one to keep an eye on for sure.
$200 million market cap. You went from like no market cap.
No. I think the real market cap's around 66 million if you go on like the 𝗢𝗏s.fun.
Yes, but the FDV is 200 million, right?
No, it's not that high. It's 60. I think this is incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah, the liquidity is all over the place because it's only over on 𝗢𝗏s.fun.
You won't be able to find it on Dex Screener, I don't think.
I see. All right, chaps, listen, we're going to do this again next week because today the internet's freezing and I haven't got my rhythm here as a result, but doesn't matter. We'll do it again next week. Thank you for the alpha. Guys, remember, the links are below. Remember what we promised Waj, and remember what we promised 763. We promised him 763. You see, it's a bull market, 763. Remember what we promised these guys. You guys are letting me down here. Go and support this man. This man bringing us love, sweat, and tears and alpha onto our show. And 563's links are also here below. Let me just switch this off before it starts. Tears and alpha. Okay, the links are over here. As you can see, there are the links. So go and subscribe. Guys, thank you very much for your love on a Sunday. We'll do this again. I'll get hold of you either next week or the week after. We'll do it again when the sound's better and everything's flowing. And then we'll smash them again with alpha. Guys, for you guys, thank you very much. To the rest of you, don't go away because I've got a surprise for you guys. So guys, much love. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
All right, so that's amazing. So now I want to show you. Remember I said to you guys that there were a bunch of people who made life-changing money on the Trump coin, right? And the reason why they did it was because they were using a certain software product. And with this software product, they could trade first, right? Remember I showed you the software product. It's called Dexcelerate. You can see it over here. What this product allows you to do is it allows you to scan for good call groups and to snipe tokens that they mention faster than any other system in the world. And so the thing about this is that it's the fastest system in the world, which means that you usually get in and get your trades. I'm going to get one of the guys from Ash. Are you with us, sir?
I am indeed.
Ash, it's so good to see you. Bro, be honest with me. How many millionaires were made on the platform this weekend?
I wouldn't even have that number, but yeah, I would put it like this. A lot of people did very, very, very well. Yeah,
I was watching it. It was absolutely insane. Now, the trick behind these things, I was asleep when it happened. And so that's when I realized I fucked the whole thing up. And the reason why I realized I fucked the whole thing up was because I was sleeping. Most the groups that I actually trade with called this thing at like $400 million market cap, $450 million market cap. I was asleep and I could have got in if I just set up Dexcelerate. So what I want you to do today is I want you to show me and show us. I've got Dexcelerate open right here. Guys, if you want to get an account on Dexcelerate, just go here. Remember, you are dealing with on-chain stuff here. If you don't use this link, you could go to the wrong site and then your wallet could get drained. Use the link in the description below. There's a Dexcelerate link. Hold on, I think for some reason, let's just see why my screen share is... Okay, so hold on. Let's just quickly change that. Okay, hold on. Okay, in the YouTube, there is a link. The link is to Dexcelerate. It says, if you missed the Trump trade, do not miss it again. Register now and trade on-chain with Dexcelerate for life-changing gains. Click that link and follow this tutorial with us right now. We're going to show you how you can set up your Dexcelerate to actually catch these pumps. Ash, at this point, sir, it's over to you. We're watching your screen.
So you can see my screen? Okay, perfect. Okay. So before I actually show anything on the screen itself, just I guess a quick 30-second intro. So as Ran said, I'm Ash. I've been using Dexcelerate for probably around 7 months. I've been the #1 trader on the platform for around 6 months now. Now, the main reason why I actually started using Dexcelerate in the first place is exactly because of the situation that happened with Trump's coin that Ran just mentioned. I kept on missing memes due to either being asleep, like Ran just said, or due to being with the kids or not checking my phone in time and stuff like that. Whatever the reason, I was missing out on memes and prime time for when they were being called. So I think one of the most important things with Dexcelerate to mention is the fact that it's non-custodial, which makes it phenomenal. But also in my head, I was thinking when I saw this 7 months ago, so hold on, you're telling me that I can set up stop losses, take profit account amounts, and I can basically set all of that up while scraping Telegram channels. That's insane. I'm never going to miss a meme again. And Ran, I guess to your point, I was also asleep. And if it wasn't for Dexcelerate, I would have actually missed out on this. So yeah, I guess that's a scene and a bit of background, but let me show you guys what's possible with a platform, right? Is that cool to do?
Yeah, sure. So now we're looking at the platform. We should all be on our front page, right?
Exactly. So this is a terminal page where you can literally see everything from the watch list. And then up here, you'll be able to see your wallet and stuff like that. So this is just a throwaway account, which I've created. So you can see in my wallet, I've got 1 SOL, and down here in my slot, which is like a smart contract, I've got 0.5 SOL. So if you did want to bring more from wallet to slot, you just click this button here, which essentially deposits more Solana from your wallet to your slot to allow the system to be able to trade.
I just want to highlight at this point that when you put money into a slot, you're depositing money into a smart contract, which is linked to your wallet, and you're not depositing it into a centralized exchange. And so the money is sitting in a smart contract. And the reason why it sits in a smart contract is so that the system can use that money to trade for you and doesn't have to ask you for approvals, because then you'd slow down the whole thing. That's the problem.
Exactly. And that's why this is so fast. And I mentioned earlier that it's non-custodial, whether the Solana is sat in your wallet. If it's in your wallet, obviously it's yours. But even if it's in your slot, Dexcelerate, nobody else can actually access those funds other than you. So it's completely non-custodial, and it's the only platform in the world that I'm familiar with anyway that can scrape channels the way that Dexcelerate do in a completely non-custodial fashion, essentially.
Yes.
So if we look onto this left-hand side, you'll see under terminal, we'll have our watch list. So this first tab is a call section. So in Dexcelerate, they've already pre-uploaded a bunch of verified Telegram channels. So you can see here, for example, you've got 𝗪𝗔𝗵𝗵 Gambles. You'll be able to see all of the tokens that they've called. So I believe this one was around, 10, 15 minutes ago. It was called at 174,000 market cap. It went to an all-time high of 232. So it basically did a 33% or 1.33x increase, and the token's still running. So if we click on it now, we'll be able to see the token, exactly what it's doing, the trades which are coming in, the holders, the providers. On this side, you'll also be able to see some more information regarding the token. But then also, if you click on call it here, it will show who called it. So you'll be able to see, for example, that this channel here called this token at 139.99. So even before 𝗪𝗔𝗵𝗵, these guys called it first.
Okay.
So essentially, this is the call section. There's so many different channels that you can go through just to check what they're doing in terms of the X's that they're giving, whether they're hot, whether they're not, and what they're calling. So you can literally scroll through tons of these channels to be able to see which ones you want to scrape from. But more importantly, you can actually scrape from your own Telegram. And that's one of my favorite things to do. So there's two things essentially which I do to make money from the platform. Number one is through Telegram channels. So that's one thing which I'm always scraping and looking for the best channels and scraping them. But also, I've been called a list master. I don't know how true that is, but I'll show you some statistics, and then you can.
Bro, you are the list master, bro. You are the list master. That's why I'm here. That's why I called you today.
So essentially, and I've got an example here in Telegram. So here I'm just showing one channel which is super hot right now, 𝗪𝗵𝗫. So if we actually just look today what he's called, a 9x, a 2.5x, a 3.6x. So if you were copy trading 𝗪𝗵𝗫 and you had set up take profit amounts and stop loss amounts, I mean, this is easy money. When you find a channel like this.
So 𝗪𝗵𝗫 is one of them. Give me another one.
Oh, there's tons. There's 666. There's what is DES, which
what is this? He called Trump at 600.
Yep, he did indeed, and that's exactly who I bought from when I got in. So I was in from 600, but unfortunately my TP wasn't crazy, so I made some money from it, but nothing life-changing, unfortunately. But it all depends on your risk tolerance, right? So you could go in and set up TPs at the standard at 2x, sell 50%, then at 250% increase, sell 30%, and keep on selling on the way up. So that's one way to do it. Or you could just sell more of a portion at, for example, 70%, cash you out 100%.
Okay, so walk me through how to do it. We've got like 5 minutes left. I really want to show the guys exactly how to do it. So let's go, walk us through the scanner and maybe just walk us how to actually copy trade.
Okay, cool. So I'll show you an example under lists, and then I'm going to go to scanner.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Here's something that I made yesterday, which is Ash's banter bangers. So if we look at what this is called, this is a mixture of different channels which I had put together. So if we look at what it's called, 88% increase, 5x, 10x, 3x, 2x. What's really cool about this is you can even click on the rank button here. And if you click on rank, it will tell you in the last day how many tokens your list had and what it did in terms of X's. So 25 calls, 2 of them did under 2x, 23 of them did a 2x, 12 of them did a 5x, blah, blah, blah. But the way to actually create this, and I'll show you now under scanner. And by the way, if any of your viewers actually do want the details to Ash's banter bangers, then they can just contact me afterwards on Telegram or whatever.
Telegram, yeah.
And I can send them those details, yeah. So we go on to the scanner section. Now, here you're going to have tons of information, but my favorite place to go is to create the list, which is over here under custom filters. So we click custom filters, it brings up this pop-up. Let's say we wanted to, let's say we've looked at all of the X's, we're happy with 666 with their channel. We type it in, we've got it there, click.
Yes.
And we also wanted to do, what is this? These guys, which called Trump coin first. So we click that, we've got 2 callers selected. You click away, you want to give your list a name. So let's say you just put it down as test. Now here, there's so many different filters that you can add when creating a list. So, you know, all of these ones, I won't read all of them out, but there's lots of different things that you can add in if you really wanted to. Sometimes I'm a bit on the lazier side and I don't actually select anything here because in my mind, the callers which I'm selecting to copy trade from, they're verified, they're trusted, they've got a track record. So I don't actually click any of this. I just leave it for the callers, but you can click these. And one of the areas which I play around with the most is this fully diluted value. So if you don't want to ape into a coin, which is a, let's call it a low to medium cap coin, you want the token to be minimum 1 million in terms of market cap. So you only want to ape something which is $1 million and above in terms of the market cap. You can literally just put that there and it's done. So then after that, we hit save. And we hit apply. It's done. We go to terminal. We go to lists. Here's our list. Test. Now it's going to show blank at the beginning because no calls have come in. So as soon as they come in, it will pop up here, right? So then we'll be able to see it. And essentially, once you want to start copy trading, all you do, there's a small auto button here. So you would click this. Let's say you wanted to buy with, well, whatever, let's just say 0.25 SOL. You wanted to buy in with that. So you put next to W SOL, you put in how much SOL you want to buy. Add targets. So let's say when the token increases by 100%, sell 50% of my position. We want another target. When the token increases further by another 100%, so when it increases by 200%, sell 100% of my position.
So you're pre-programming all these rules before the token actually, before the trade actually happens, which means that if you're sleeping, then you're safe. Because one of the reasons I don't buy things when I'm sleeping is because if the market's crashing, I need to be able to get out, right?
Exactly. And well, one thing which I'll actually add here, and I'm conscious of time, so I'll just speed up ever so slightly. But let's say you could even put 200%, sell 75% of my position. And if it goes up by 5,000%, then cash me out. So you could even go as high as that if you really wanted to. I always play with stop loss. So I typically go anywhere between 40 to 60%, but my norm is usually 40 in terms of my own.
But Ash, you should always leave some stuff in, bro, because the thing is like Trump coin, like if you make 100%, take out your initial, but then keep another 100% because then you can ride it to fucking Valhalla like Trump coin, you know, and that's why we're here, because we want the one-way ticket to Valhalla, right?
That's also very true. That's also true. So you could, if you really wanted to, again, we could even make that 90%.
When it's 100%, you sell 50% of your position, and then the rest you just leave in forever, bro. Ride it to Valhalla, zero or hero. That's the way to do it.
That's one way to do it. That, again, it all depends on your risk tolerance, right? Like, yeah, I mean, you can just completely ride after you've taken initials out and wait for that 100x and stuff like that. So that's definitely a possibility. But yeah, I trade slightly differently. I do usually leave some dust to see what happens with it, but not always, if I'm being honest. A lot of the times I will cash out the position, but there's many different ways to trade and different styles. Now, in terms of the stop loss, I usually, as mentioned, do 40 to 60%. I'll put in 40 here. You've also got some amazing stuff here. Like you can do trailing stop loss if you want, but you know, I think for people who are more new, just sticking to the normal stop loss is probably better. I mean, there's even things like buy at a dip. So when the caller calls it, don't buy it straight away on the initial pump. Wait for everyone to start taking profits and then buy the dip. But you know, those are things which I guess slightly more intermediate to advanced level to start playing around with stuff like that. So we've set up our profit targets. We've set up our stop loss. Now we want to go to priority. We're trading on Sol, so we're not going to click ETH there. We're going to click Sol. We can leave it on auto slippage. Again, it depends on what you're trying to do. If it's a hyped launch, definitely leave it on auto. If it's something which you want to get into, but you don't mind missing it just because you don't want to get a bad entry, you can go, for example, with 25% in terms of the slippage. But if it's a hyped launch, definitely go with auto because that's just more increasing the chances of you getting in. On this section is where you set your gas. And this is a really important point that I want to mention because I see so many of my affiliates coming to me with this question and making this mistake, right? So I'm going to tell everyone now the best way to do this. If you are trading with, and this is just me, my personal opinion on this. If you are trading with anything lower than 0.5 Sol per trade, so you know here we put 0.25, under gas, go with low. Do not go with medium, do not go with high, do not go with auto. It will take majority of your profit. And the reason why I say that is because if you put auto, medium or high or custom here, it's going to basically have a 𝗔𝗘 tip attached to it. And if you've got 𝗔𝗘 attached, yes, you are even faster. And I'll go through some of the speed settings here as well. But yes, you're even faster to get in, but then it's more expensive because you're paying for the 𝗔𝗘 tip. So anything below 0.5, always go with low, without a shadow of a doubt, unless you're going to be taking your first TP at like 250, 300%, then fine, you can go different. But anything below 0.5, low, then you've got medium, which is slightly faster, then you've got high, which is the fastest, and then you've got auto, which is basically a mixture between the speeds that you can get. So it's an algorithm that Dexcelerate have set themselves, and it's a really good balance basically to when you look at the speed versus the 𝗔𝗘 that you have. So let's say for this purpose, we're going to go with low. For low, you can't have anti-MEV, and if you're doing under 1 Sol, you probably don't want to have anti-MEV on anyway. But if you did want to have anti-MEV on, you could just go auto, turn on anti-MEV, and done. But let's go with low. We hit start. Oh, beg your pardon. One more thing. We go to slot. Make sure that your slot is selected here. So if you unselect it, you won't buy. So you need to make sure that that's selected, and that's just reset everything. Great. That's still there. Priority, Sol, 25, low, no anti-MEV. And we're going to hit start. So if hit start, now you can see that test, that list has got a green circle around it. And if we click on it, you can see this auto button is green as well. We're live. That basically means as soon as a call comes in here, the platform will buy it for us. It's as simple as that.
And sell if it hits the sell targets.
Precisely.
Okay, so guys, I think that the idea here is say, look, here you can automate your trading while you're sleeping. with all your risk parameters. And it's probably the thing with this, it's the fastest place that you can do it in a non-custodial fashion. And a lot of people are asking about the fees here. I think what you guys are not understanding is that the fees are not the fees that you're paying Dexcelerate. It's the fees that you're paying Solana, because what you're asking it to do is to be the fastest and to catch the trade first so that you actually catch the trade. So a lot of people that are asking about fees, this is not the fact that you're paying higher fees, not you're paying to Dexcelerate. You're paying it because you want to get into the trade, and therefore you set your parameters in such a way that you're going to catch the trade for sure, right?
Precisely. And just to be clear, Dexcelerate charges a platform fee like every other platform. It's 1%. It hasn't changed in the 7 months I've been on the platform.
Yes.
It's 1%, same as everywhere else. So if you do choose high and you all of a sudden see that you're paying a much larger amount in terms of gas, that's what it is. It's actually gas fees. It's 𝗔𝗘𝗓. It's to make you blisteringly fast. So high, for example, you're probably buying in just under 1 second. Auto, just slightly above 1 second. This is with typical conditions. Medium, you're probably looking at just over a second. Low, you're probably looking at around 1.5 to 2 seconds. So even with low, we're still talking very, very fast. It's not slow by any means at all. It's not like low is 20 seconds and high is 1 second. All of these options are fast, but if you're on a hype launch and you really want to get in where every millisecond counts, then yeah, you can adjust your settings and your speed accordingly.
Yeah. All right, listen, Ash, we got to go because we're completely over time. But I think the guys understand. We'll do another. We'll bring you in and we'll do another Dexcelerate full tutorial. Just in the meantime, for you guys, and I reiterate this a million times. Not because really I care whether or not you use my referral link or anybody else's referral link. I just care because if you're dealing with on-chain agents, and unfortunately with these things you have to connect your wallet to these things, right? You need to make sure you're clicking on the right agent. And so what you want to be doing is you want to be going to the link over here. There is a Dexcelerate link. Use that link to get to Dexcelerate, and then once you're there, put a bookmark or put it onto your favorites so that you've got it, and then mess around. Like I've got different things which I like. I like using the scanner, which actually where you can scan for the best calling channels, and then you can just copy trade the best performing channels. That's how I use it. All right, guys. With that in mind, Ash, thank you so much, my friend. To you guys,
thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are completely out of time. Completely out of time. Sending you much love. Tomorrow, another massive show on Inauguration Day. See you guys then. Till then, trade well, my friends.